Hello, welcome back to X-Plane 11. Thank you very much for joining me in this video, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to install the Zibo mod version 3.31 and above. Any additional items that I have decided to install to my Zibo mod, and also how to put in some of the new liveries, as well as then going into the simulator and having a look at how this new Zibo mod compares to the Zibo mod I had before, which was 3.29. So I'm going to show you guys a few changes that there has been between the two. Also a slightly different install. We're not going to be using that updater there, as that is in public beta, but we will be going through the whole install, making sure that you guys know how to do that, and also seeing the differences and seeing what has improved on the Zibo mod from last time, because last time I made a few criticisms which I think have now been addressed, so that's why I'm making this video. So make sure you stay tuned for the next I don't know, probably about half an hour for that. Okay, so this is where we're going to start. This is the this is me put two cascading windows. I've just put two cascading windows up, and one of them has a bunch of the Zibo information. So I will link the main page, which is this page, in the description box below. So that's this page, which will take you to this. Make sure you need an account on the X-Plane forums to get onto this page and actually be able to use everything on it. I think to download anything from it. But aside from that, everything that I will be using is accessible from this page. So for example, there's the mod itself right there. There are all the compatible liveries that we'll be using, and in there's also a bunch of links to other stuff. So let's get on with this. The first thing I'm going to do is very quickly show you guys how to install Avitab and the terrain radar. I showed this in the last one as well, but I might as well show you guys again. Anything that I showed in the last one that is exactly the same in terms of installation, I'm just going to gloss over fairly quickly. So with Avitab, all you do is uninstall it, copy that over, go into resources, go over to plugins, and throw it in there. So Avitab just goes in there, and terrain radar, same thing, unzip it and copy that into there. Job done. So we can get rid of those two. Now the other thing about Avitab and terrain radar is make sure you do have the latest versions installed, because if you don't have the latest versions installed, they will not work properly with the Zibo mod. It does say make sure you have the latest versions installed. With that all done, make sure you go to the aircrafts folder from the root X-Plane folder, and if you've done this before, you'll have the aircraft over here if you've done it before. So as you can see, I have got one. What you need to do is, before you continue, you must delete that aircraft. That aircraft has to go. Then after you've done that, you can copy this across or cut it across and bring it in. Job done. That's the Zibo mod installed. Now we've done the whole TK Zibo thing before, but we're not going to have a look at that today. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be having a look at this FMC, and we're going to be having a look at the HUD. So if we go over here and we have a look in here, we have got cockpit 3D. So all we need to do is, if you have a look in here, you can see generic, type, text, and a bunch of information over there. And this is just the FMC mod that improves the FMC font, and you'll see that that is there. So all we're going to do is replace that. Easiest way to do that is go into there, copy that across, overwrite all. Job done. Not a problem there. Get out of that. HUD, we'll have a look for ourselves. We've got HUD.DES, HUD object. It doesn't actually tell us where we need to put that, so let's work that out for ourselves. Let's see. Do we have anything for HUD up here? There's the HUD. So do we have HUD.DDS and HUD object here? Let's make sure Let's do a check. Nope. So this is where we've got to find it. And the reason I'm doing this whilst looking for it is so that you guys can actually see how this needs to be done. So you guys can see the few changes. So there we go. It should be in objects here. This looks like a good place for it to be. There it is, HUD.DDS, HUD.object. So there we go. So we go into objects. We'll take those two, bring them across, and we'll overwrite. Done. That's now done. And of course we do a similar one to the whole TK Zibo mod, don't we? Because we go into objects and all of those gets copied over. But we're not going to touch that just yet. We're not going to use that one. Now we go to liveries. Now with the liveries, I've still left the Monarch one, but I've also got myself a few liveries. So we've got 1, 2, 3 here. I'm going to unzip all of these. Now, it does come with a bunch of liveries, as you can see. AXP American, November 980 Alpha November. We've got KLM Papa Hotel Bravo X-Ray Whiskey. We've got Ryanair, Echo India Golf Juliet Kilo. We've got Delta November 3765. Isn't that the original one? We've got Southwest November 83 India Oscar Charlie. We've got TUI, the German version of TUI, which is I think that is the German version, which is Delta, Alpha Tango, Uniform Kilo, and then United Airlines November 33286. So that's what comes with it. Then what we do is we just grab all of these. So once I unzipped it, went there, grabbed all of those, and bring them across. And now we've got a whole bunch of extra ones. Over here, this one here can just be dragged across. There we go. That's not a real one, by the way. It was 737-400, and it no longer flies. It hasn't been flying for about 5 years. So that's a sort of a fictional one, but it's nice to see. And similar here, we'll do the TUI Fly one. Now, that doesn't have AXP on it. So we're going to see what the difference is on that, potentially. And we're not going to install the Monarch one, because I don't think the Monarch one is updated for the latest update. So, with that done, that is everything ready to go for the Zibo mod. It really is that easy. Once again, if you've got the Zibo mod already and you want to update, make sure you delete the old version of the Zibo mod. So, next up, let's jump into X-Plane 11 and see what we can see. So, over here in the X-Plane aircraft select, let's go ahead and change the airport to Echo Golf. Let me think. Let's have a look. What do we have? Nope, that's not the one I wanted. What is Gatwick? Echo Golf Kilo Kilo. There we go. That'll do. Should have known that one. What we're going to do is we're just going to stop or start at the maintenance area, because why not? Is there anywhere else we can start? Let's not start in the hangar. That would be awkward. We'll start at the maintenance area. But anyway, there is the aircraft. So we're looking for the one with the X on it. This is a default one, and you'll be able to tell because when you go like this, you'll only see a few. See Delta, Air China, American, so on and so forth. However, if we now go over to this one, you'll notice we've got default. There's Alaska. We've got American. There's the British Airways one. Now you'll notice that some of these have the scimitar wings. Now, as you can see, these ones don't have scimitar wings. Also, some of these will have the LEAP engines. So there's that to look at as well. And the LEAP engines are the newer engines. But there you go. You can see... Oh, that's the old Qantas livery. You can see there's a lot. This one doesn't have the scimitar engines. Scimitar winglets. That one has a scimitar. That has a scimitar. That one has a scimitar. There you go. A whole bunch of them. And then we've got this one, which does also have the scimitar. But the one I'm going to select right now is actually going to be... I guess we should really choose this one. This one here. We'll choose this one here. And we're going to leave it with the engines running to start with. We're going to have something, yeah, around daytime. Let's do it slightly early in the day. There you go, clear weather. That works absolutely fine for me. And let's go ahead and start, and I'll join you guys inside the aircraft. Okay, so we are now in the aircraft, and let's see what we can see and what's changed. Well, first of all, does that look... That looks like that's been replaced. That was one of the first things that I picked up on, was the fact that this was quite low quality. That looks like that's actually been replaced because it's about the same quality as this. So there we go. Immediate improvements. Let's have a look around the aircraft. The sounds, again, you may have noticed I didn't have to install any sounds. That's because the sounds are now default with this. Those sounds, or that sound pack, is default with all of this. Right, next up, here's the FMC. We've got slightly thicker font, slightly better font. Now we've got a proper FMC font, which I'm really happy about there. But I'm just having a look around. I just want to see what is and isn't available to us. So let's have a look. Let's start with the settings. Let's see if there's any settings that have changed. Fuel gauge, side by side or over under. So the fuel gauge is there. Is that the one it's talking about? Yes, it is. There you go. So it depends on what kind of fuel gauge you want. Personally, I quite like that one. So there we have it. I'm going to leave this engine on. We'll leave the parking brake on. Everything should be absolutely okay running and idling for a while. I'll switch that on. Might as well switch that on. We'll leave that off right now. Yeah, everything should be absolutely fine whilst it's idle. And as you can see, it's a little bit brighter. Everything seems a little bit brighter in this without that texture pack that we're using. But that's not a problem. It's still really quite cool. One thing I'm going to note is that I can't see a HUD here for some reason. There's no heads-up display. And I'm going to check. We'll change into a different aircraft at some point. Or a different livery and see if it's available in that. ND display, track up or heading up. So that doesn't seem to really be changing much. Display rings, yes, no. Well, that's clear. LDU flight control, no or yes. LDU brake temperature, so that's this display unit down here, where the speed brake is sort of in the way. So let's go to that. There you go. So flight control on or off, you can see that. IRS position entry message align, sure, we can put that in. Long LED strobes, hello, that looks good. Okay, so let's have a look outside. Now actually for this we're going to go back in time a little bit, I think, or something. Slightly brighter than that. There you go. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's see these LED strobes of ours, if we have LED strobes on this. There we go. Alright, those don't look like LEDs to me, so this aircraft doesn't look like it's got LEDs. So this is going to be actually interesting, because maybe different aircraft have different... Or maybe if I do that, maybe will that switch it to long LEDs? Oh, yep. Look at that. Now we have long LED strobes. That's impressive. That is really, really quite impressive. Okay. Very interesting. Also, this livery is very nice. It's a very nice livery. Let's go back inside. So we've got control over that there. Winglets, we can have none. No winglets. Makes the aircraft look a little bare, doesn't it? Without winglets. We're so used to seeing aircraft with winglets now. And suddenly, look at that. A 737-800 without a winglet. Looks really, really odd. Let's go. Let's switch those strobes off again. Like that. And we'll go to blended, which are these ones here. So we're used to these. We see this a lot. And now, of course, they have come out with these scimitar winglets. And that's this one, the split one. And there you have it. That's the split scimitar winglets, which is interesting to fly with, to say the least. So we've got options for that there. We've got SATCOM, so satellite communications, front, rear, or both. So if you have a look at this, let's see what we can see on the aircraft, on the outside. And we'll go back inside and do both for now. And let's see if there's anything else on it. Yep, look at that. We've got this really odd hump on the aircraft, front and the back. So there you go. We've actually got additions to our aircraft. We can make our aircraft rather unique. If anything, I will put that at the rear. Yeah, if we were going to have any of that, we'll have it at the rear. Right, next up, landing pulse light. No and yes. Okay, well, what I'm going to do, switch on all the landing lights. Let's have a look for ourselves what this is. Okay, hang on. We can see that from the inside what's going on. Let's have a look from the outside. So we've got our 4 landing lights there. Lovely. And when I change that, it's doing what? Okay, it's making those lights strobe or pulse. For what reason? I'm not entirely sure. I've not actually ever seen an aircraft do that upon landing. But it looks really cool. And what would happen if I change that to LEDs? Ah, okay. Different colours. Look at that. Look at the brightness and the style of them now. And also, we've lost the lights at the bottom. So that's what that does. Let's do that, which means we've lost. There you go. We've lost the lights up there. So we go to the halogen lights. We've got these retractable lights, which you should be able to see there. Can you see them right there? I've got them switched off right now, but extended. That's the retractable lights, and it looks like when you switch to LEDs, those disappear and you're just down to 2 lights. Interesting. And HUD for captain, here we go. Yes. We can bring this HUD down. Now how do we bring this HUD down? Nope. How do we bring this HUD down? That's doing something. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so not quite worked out how to get it down yet. Okay, this is awkward. This is really awkward. Oh, there you go. Done. You just have to pull it quickly. And there we go. There's our HUD, which is actually pretty cool. It seems like it works. It does seem like it works, so we'll see. We'll have a look at how that pans out for us. So there's our HUD. So that's really cool. We have a whole bunch of stuff there. Hardware config, well, I guess we're going to put that on your throttle noise lock. We'll do off. We can have the throttle as loud as we need it to be. Parking brake, remove chocks. on or off. I suppose, yeah, we'll do that. And I guess we'll have the toe brakes axis as symmetric. We've got the realism settings. Again, this hasn't really changed. Visual effects, these haven't changed. Aircraft config, this is pretty much as always. That looks pretty good. Put that there, that across there, and we can sync those. Audio features, what do we have? Passenger chatter when boarding, airport set, regional or large, mute trim wheel, we can on that and on and off that. Passenger applause, that's a bit odd. Announcement trigger, wing lights or position lights. I suppose when that goes to strobe, that's where it'll say it's ready for takeoff or something, which we've had before. Then we've got the volumes that we can control. We've got some calibration, and that's pretty good. So things have definitely changed. Things have definitely changed on this aircraft. We can clearly see that. That's fine there. And then we've got all our oh, it looks like these have actually got, have these got, I think these ones are all a little bit more detailed now. Yep, these look to be more detailed. So there we go, we've got that as well. Then we've got Avitab in itself with the charts and everything. Obviously everything you'd expect in its standard format. So we haven't got anything to talk about there. That's just as it's always been. Anything else? Let's have a look. We've got that. What about... Here's something that I don't know. Here we go. Doors and lighting. Look at this. So we've now got doors and lighting as well. So on this side, we can go doors. We could open them, close them. Let's open all of these doors. They're currently locked. Right, yes. How do we unlock doors? I doubt it's that. Because that's just for this one. They're all currently locked, I think, because the aircraft is switched on? Perhaps? Okay, and we've got lighting. We've got passenger area. Now, what I'm going to do is at this point, I'm actually going to get up out my seat. And we're going to go out this way and see if we can open this door and have a look down through this aircraft. So this aircraft is, it looks like it's finally been modelled. This may not be perfect, but I think other ones are actually a lot better. But it looks like the modelling is now correct in this. Oh, that's a bit. And it does look like they're in the correct position. So if I were to go all the way over to the wing, you can hear the difference in the engine as well. It does look a lot better. Maybe it's still not perfect. Can we close this? No. But it does look a lot better. A lot better. So you can actually look out the wing now. It's a bit of awkwardness on the sound. Well, like I said, I'm going to switch over to a few different aircraft in a moment. So I think we're a long way through this video overall. So well, actually, only about 20 minutes through the video, but still, it's a fair amount. So what we're going to do is let's have a look at the lighting controls now, and let's see what the lighting controls are. Are those lighting controls? Please tell me those work. No, those don't work. Not on this aircraft. Right, so we can go white bright, passenger area white bright, white medium, takeoff landing, cruise, night sleep. Okay, so that's all we've got options for right now. Now how do I, is there anything I can change there? So let's put it to night sleep and have a look at what we can see. Does it change anything? Look at the top. Night sleep. White bright. It actually works. White medium. Takeoff and landing. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. Cruise. And night sleep. That's superb. That is absolutely superb, that is. So you get to control those features as well, which is really awesome. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to save. I'm just going to quick save all the configs like that. So we're ready to go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to swap over to a different aircraft. Let's see which aircraft has the best cabin, or do they all look the same. So I'm just going to swap over to a different livery and we'll see what we can find. Okay, so now I'm in the KLM one, and it looks a little different. Look, it does look a little bit different. So there is a definite change, I think. I think there is a definite change on how these look, but maybe they're still working on this. I feel like they're still working on this. So what we're going to do now is we're going to close that. We're going to do a quick check to make sure this is all fine, which it is. We're going to lock that door. We'll switch on our panel lights. We'll switch on the floodlights just for now. And we're going to taxi over to the runway and see what we can do. In fact, you know what? Forget the floodlights. Forget the floodlights, full stop. As you guys know, I don't particularly like floodlights. And dome light can go off. You can go on. You can go on. Okay. In fact, circuit breakers don't need to have that light on right now either. Everything else looks pretty much the same here. What we're going to do is we'll switch on that light, switch off that light, bring those into continuous for now. Ooh, there are slight changes to this. I'm looking around and I'm just noticing slight changes everywhere.
Have a good flight.
I swear I didn't tell you to do that. Anyway. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. That's good. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're just going to go over to finish this video off. I'm going to see if we can bring ourselves over to the runway. That's what we're going to do. And it does look really good. And of course, I've always liked the 737. There we go. We'll switch on our taxi lights here. Nope, not those two. Taxi light, there you go. Is that an LED as well? Yep, there they are. LED taxi lights. How lovely. And you can see we've switched to KLM. I've switched to the KLM aircraft, which I think just works a little bit better right now. So let's get this aircraft in its correct position. And it's really, really smooth. Again, the fact that this is as smooth as it is really impressive. Because I love that fact that we can actually have a simulator with an aircraft like this, with scenery like this, being so smooth. It's a great thing to have. It really is. And X-Plane does a fantastic job. Let's go flaps 5. Does the KLM one have the scimitar wings? It doesn't. See, it takes the scimitar wings away on the KLM one. I'm assuming we can't actually put it back on. Not that. Yeah, this one seems to be just currently... Oh no, we could put the split one on if we wanted to. That's if we really wanted to. But obviously we're not going to do that right now. Operating the tiller. Looking good. Do that to be 145. I don't really know what it's going to be. We'll do heading to be not 260. That's the wrong runway. We'll go for 080. Course we'll leave, that's fine. Flight directors will go on. All the clicks work, everything sounds good. Altitude is 6,000, we'll leave it at that. It's nice. It is nice to hear all of this working. It's a really nice sort of, it just works. Everything works and it sounds realistic and it sounds proper. And it's great to see the amount of effort that goes into something like this. That can go to RTO, that can go engine display, that can probably switch off. That needs to be RTO. We need to... Whoa. Why did you do that? Oh, I see why it did that. Okay, never mind. Silly thing. Right, okay. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine for now. I have no idea what my trim position's supposed to be, so I'm going to quickly check that. I don't have a reference airport, I don't have a route, I just need to know what my zero fuel weight is. And I just need to know my trim conditions, that's all. That's all I need to know. Do that, and let's get ourselves onto the runway before we take off for this test. Or let's just stop here first. In fact, we'll stop on the runway. We will stop on the runway. Why not? 6,000 goes in there. And that is going to be how we're going to take off. That looks pretty cool. If I do say so myself, that looks pretty cool. Okay. Get those brakes on like that. We'll pull that parking brake for now. We'll just double check all of this stuff. Flaps are 5. Trim 4.68. So we'll go just about there. That will do. We don't need to worry about any of this stuff. We're just going to take off. Obviously, this is not how you do it. This is clearly not how you do it. But we're going to eyeball this one. Let's take a look outside. That's looking really quite nice. Really looking quite nice. The Flying Dutchman, it says. Wonderful. Okay. And I suppose here we go. We'll switch on terrain. We'll switch on the weather. Actually, we don't need the weather radar. We'll switch on terrain. We'll bring this out to 20 nautical miles. We'll make sure that the QNH is correct. At 299.2 correct at the moment anyway. That's down to RTO. That's good. We're lined up 077. We're probably going to have to adjust our track slightly to 079. That can go there. Landing lights can go on. Our LED landing lights now. These lights, I guess, can go on. That can go off. That can go to strobe and steady. There you go. Have a look outside. There we go. It's got the long LED flash, which personally I don't actually like those long LED flashes, but you know, that's just me. I just don't like them. That looks really nice. Very well done. Okay, should we take this off to end this episode? I think we should. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on X-Plane 11. Leave a comment in the comments box below, letting me know what you think. Don't forget to support me on Patreon, www.patreon.com/ecgadget. Your support would be massively appreciated. Before I say anything further, this is not how you take off a 737, but this is what I'm going to do anyway. You can also find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/ecgadget, and you can follow me on social media at ecgadgetlp for both Twitter and Instagram. This is quite interesting. Keep my nose down. 80 knots confirmed. Speed live. Let's see what our rotate speed should be. I think now this is good. Yep. Gear up. Trying to keep that at 12.5 degrees.
400.
Trying to keep a stable climb speed there of 155 knots, it seems. That's pretty good, actually. That's a really smooth climb out. And we'll start bringing the nose down now to acceleration height. Well, we're at acceleration height anyway, but let's bring the nose down and start accelerating out past towards 250 knots. Flaps 5, that can go up. Next one's going to be flaps 2. Should we have a look around? Look at that. That looks stunning. That genuinely looks stunning. That's really awesome to see. That really is quite awesome to see. Let's bank it in. I suppose we'll bring the flaps in one more. That can now go to off. There you go. That's fine, and flaps fully up. Perfect. And now we'll bring that speed down. And let's stabilize around this kind of speed. So I got told around, I think I've been told, is it 70 or is it 63% or something in level flight will keep us actually level? No, it's actually less than that. 56%, maybe it's 56%. Will keep us level around this kind of speed. If we just pitch that nose down a little bit. And that's pretty cool. That is actually pretty cool. We've got ourselves pretty much stabilized as we fly over England. That's fairly awesome to see. That is really quite awesome to see. If you look around up there, look at that. Taken off from Gatwick. We can turn in where we want. That's London that way. Thank you very much for watching once again, and I'll see you guys next time in X-Plane 11, where, well, we'll see what we can do, but definitely now looking forward to doing some more flights with this Zibo mod. I need to start getting obviously getting a hang of it, but definitely looking forward to doing more flights with this. I'll see you guys then.